Hello, thank you for tuning in for today's live training. We're going to be talking about hashtags today and how to create a hashtag strategy rather than just randomly adding hashtags that you think might be relevant to your posts. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'm using a streaming platform that requires you to opt in to see the comments, but even if you comment directly on whatever platform you're watching this live stream on, I will be able to reply. So there's a message that says you can opt in for me to see those comments right now. But if you just want to comment them in the platform, I will reply after the live stream and answer all of your questions. Okay? So please feel free to do that. I really want to help y'all understand this as much as possible, and it helps me when you ask questions because then I can know how to help you. So we're going to talk about Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok today. And I'm also going to give you a spreadsheet to keep track of your hashtag strategy. I'm going to talk about TikTok first. Because of the way that TikTok works when you're posting a video, as you start to type, whether you're doing this on the mobile app or on the browser, as you start to type a hashtag, so if you type, just for example, hashtag gymnastics, it's going to tell you how many mentions that hashtag has. It's also going to tell you suggested hashtags that include hashtag gymnastics. So it'll show hashtag gymnastic fails, hashtag gymnastics coaches, hashtag gymnastics TikTok. All of the relevant hashtags will be populated there. So you don't really have to have done any prior research in order to choose hashtags for TikTok, because it will tell you, like I said, as you're posting, recommended hashtags and then also the number of mentions. So type things in there that are unique to the video that you're creating. So if it's a preschool gymnastics class, see what kind of hashtags there are for that. If you are an Italian restaurant, see what kind of hashtags there are for that. And then try to use a variety of hashtags. So use some that have, millions of mentions, and then maybe use some that only have a couple tens of thousands of mentions. And the reason why is because hashtags are like a drawer or rather individual files in a filing cabinet. So if you put your post in a file that has millions of mentions, there's probably going to be a lot more people in there looking at that file. But at the same time, there's a lot more posts in there, so it's harder for yours to stand out. So for that reason, I like to recommend that you vary the number of mentions of the hashtags that you choose. So you're in some smaller hashtag groups and some larger hashtag groups so that you have a better chance of being noticed. So in those smaller hashtags with a lot less mentions, there's not going to be as many people posting, so it's going to be easier for you to stand out, but there's also not going to be as many people searching and looking at those hashtags, so your audience is smaller. So I hope that makes sense. That's why I recommend that you have a variety. Don't just focus on the millions or billions of mentions hashtags. Also focus on the hashtags that have, a few thousand to a few tens of thousands of mentions. Okay, so that covers TikTok, but the same type of strategy applies to Instagram and Facebook. But the reason that I have created a spreadsheet for y'all to keep track of your hashtags is because Instagram and Facebook don't really tell you while you're actually typing the hashtags how many mentions there are. So I like to conduct some research before, and then when I'm posting, I'll use those hashtags that I've already researched in my posts. So when you click the link to open the hashtag tracker template, you will make a copy. And then you'll see there are multiple columns, and I've just organized it like this to help you separate the hashtags that you're researching. But essentially, you should research hashtags based on your niche. So for a gymnastics club, that's gymnastics. For a restaurant, it might be the type of food that you serve, like Italian restaurants. But you could also go a little bit broader and just look at all the hashtags for restaurants. And then we have a column for local. So that's where you'll put in your city, or if you're in a smaller city that doesn't really have as many hashtags on the platform, you could maybe look up a nearby city if it's close enough that you would have some crossover in the clients that live in that city. So this is especially for restaurants. There's a lot of hashtags related to cities and popular restaurants and food destinations. So that's especially relevant for that. And it may also be relevant for kids' activity centers. It just depends on how big of the city that you're located in. And then I have some columns for you to write or research specific products or services that you offer. And you can duplicate these if you need more than 3. For gymnastics, this might be the different age groups that you serve. So preschool, elementary, high school. It might be the different classes. So ninja classes, competitive gymnastics, recreational gymnastics. And then for restaurants, this might be breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, live music, things like that. Different components of your business that there could be relevant hashtags. And this is just to really get your brain thinking about the different types of hashtags that you can use and the different ways that people might find out about your business. They might find out about your restaurant because they want, a place to go, have great drinks, and listen to live music. And then they kind of stumble upon your restaurant that way. So just, this is just to get your brain started, like I said, thinking about things. So then you'll want to go to Instagram, and this is where you're going to start your research based on all of the categories that you've listed out on that spreadsheet. So let's just say we're starting with gymnastics. So we'll type in hashtag gymnastics, and when you scroll through, you'll see just tons of hashtags related to the word gymnastics. And what you'll want to do is write down any of the relevant hashtags for your business. And then also, so you put it in this category, and then you'll want to write down the mentions here. And that's just so that, like I said, later you can use a variety. You can use hashtags with millions of mentions and hashtags with just a couple thousand mentions to have some variety there. And then you'll want to do, like I said, the same thing for your city. So let's say you're in Houston. You can look through here. Like I said, there's a lot related to food. For a kids activity center, maybe there's hashtags for Houston moms. That might be a really good hashtag to kind of get in front of moms in Houston if you're a gymnastics club or a dance studio located in Houston. So that's the kind of thing that you would search for. Just try to get creative, type in words related to your business, words related to your city, and see what comes up. And then, like I said, you can also do this for specific services. So let's just say preschool gymnastics. And it shows you some related to preschool. There's a lot to choose from. So once you have your list of hashtags, which if you go through Instagram, you'll probably find at least 100 hashtags. You don't have to go into a huge amount of detail. Just pick maybe 10 to 20 for each category that you have on your spreadsheet. And like I said, make sure you're choosing some that have a lot of mentions and some that have fewer mentions. Then you can take those hashtags to Facebook. And the reason why you do Instagram first is because Facebook does not recommend hashtags. They just tell you how many people are posting about each hashtag. And they, like I said, they don't give recommendations. So there's a tab for Instagram and there's a tab for Facebook on the spreadsheet. So once you have your Instagram hashtags, come over to Facebook and type them in, and it will tell you how many people are posting about them. And then you can just see how many people are using the hashtag on Instagram, how many people are using the hashtag on Facebook. Choose a few hashtags that are relevant to each post based on what you have collected in your spreadsheet, and make sure, once again, that you're using hashtags with a variety of mentions. Don't just use the ones that have millions or billions of mentions. Don't use hashtag love, things like that are just way overused, because you'll never get found in those categories. And also try to keep them relevant. When you use hashtags that are relevant to your business, it tells Facebook and Instagram what kind of posts you're making, and it puts you in front of the right people for your business. So please let me know if you have any questions about how this works, about hashtags or about social media. I would be happy to answer, and I will reply to all comments and questions. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you